Hello guys, we are back reading more of the piggy. So we already finished there. Hey, to the thought throbbing on the crest of his skull. Naps were not the high on the list of things you should have after a head injury. The constant hum and broken down fluorescence of the streetlights had been replaced by the warm glow of a table lamp, and the biting chill of the North Sea's wind on the street had been replaced by the warmth of a home. Ben sat up, his head aching almost as if to remind him that he had been assaulted by a wrench-wielding pig. As if he needed reminding, Ben stood up carefully, regaining his footing. He had never been in such a close contact with one of the infected before. He hoped he would never have to be that close to one again. What in the world was that thing? Looks so familiar. Oh, this is the ending for chapter 1. What in the world was that thing? Looks so familiar, and yet Ben had never seen anything like it before. But he had seen this furniture, this room. Ben gingerly touched his fingers to the knot. Oh, Ben had been in the house before. He groaned as he gingerly touched his fingers to the knot growing on his head. Ben had planned to use one of the stones from down the street to smash in a window. And crawling and searched the house from there. Aside from the massive splitting headache, getting a pig napped had turned out to be much simpler than where to get inside. So I don't know why I'm yawning so much, but why had the pig creature attacked him? And more importantly, how did the pig creature get inside? Ben had an idea, but he pushed it to the back of his mind. He didn't want to consider that right now. His head throbbed again at the spot where his skull had been introduced to the infected pig's wrench. It certainly wasn't pleasant, but Ben figured he would be okay. He opened the bedroom door. Oh, God. Peering down the hallway for any sign of the creature. In a lounge chair in the middle of the living room, the pig creature slept soundly. At least, that's what it looked like to Ben. Its massive head hung over its chest as it took labored breaths. Ben had no idea how long he had been out, or even what time of the day it was. Ben looked past the slumbering pig creature to the front door. He had been on the other side of not so long ago. He could make a break for it right now. He might not have anything to show for it, but he would make it out with his life. And a story to tell across the hall, even closer than the front door, was Ollie's room. Ben weighed his options. He could run for the exit, head home, and try again some other time when he wasn't nursing a probable concussion. Then again, wasn't this why he had come here to begin with? Hadn't his goal been try to find something in Ollie's house that would help him track down his friend? What if Ollie had left a note? A chance that Ollie had left a clue. Ben couldn't risk missing out on something like that. Before all this, Ben's parents had always told him he was hard-headed, but even he didn't think his head could take any more whacks. It was now or never. Putting as little weight as he could on each foot, Ben tiptoed across the hallway. Every step, right here, causing the floor of his friend's house to creak a little too loud. For Ben's liking, it was torturous. One wrong move could wake the infected pig creature, and Ben didn't know much, but he knew that he wasn't up for another bout with the infected so quickly. After what seemed like an eternity of sneaking across the hall, Ben reached his friend's room and quietly turned the doorknob. Ben sighed in relief as the latch clicked and the door gave away. He never thought that he would be thankful. His friends didn't lock their bedroom doors. Ben closed the door behind him, making sure the click of the latch was silent as his relief turned to sadness. Now facing the fact that his friend might actually be gone. Or worse, maybe he was one of them. Ollie's room was exactly as Ben remembered. The bed, the dresser, and chairs were arranged in the same way that always had been. If Ben didn't know any better, he would have thought that it was just another day after school. A faint, sharp, crackling sound pierced the silence of the room. Ben's heart dropped to his stomach. He thought for a second that the infected had woken from its sleep and found him. No, it was just one of Ollie's walkie-talkies. For a few minutes, it had been all he talked about. Though, like many fascinations, it eventually fell to the wayside unless Ben extended the antenna of the walkie-talkie, holding transmission button and clearing his throat. Ollie, are you there? This is Ben. Over. Ben screwed his eyes shut tightly as he released the transmission button. If Ollie left his walkie-talkie behind, it would make sense that he'd taken the other one, right? Ben's mind raced with 1,000 different scenarios as he waited for a response. He was greeted with, "I'm sorry, but we're ending the book there. Goodbye."